Here we go. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday and welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us, to join Dr. Tanya Live. Um, Setting up my chat over here. Thank you for joining us. And maybe you're having breakfast right now. Maybe you are in the car on your way to work. Maybe you just got to work. Maybe you are taking a day off and you are just hanging out with me this morning, whatever it is, thank you for being here. I am just blessed to be here. I like to start every live with a scriptural verse that grounds me, and it is Ephesians 2 and 10. For we are God's masterpiece, created anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things that He planned for us long ago. I continue to enjoy that particular verse as it is a reminder to me and hopefully a reminder to you that you are God's masterpiece, that He created you with uniqueness, with certain skills and abilities. He was really intentional when He created you. He gave you these gifts that you can use them to be able to benefit other people. He's got plans for you. And you know, if he's got plans, they're going to be good ones. And they are for you to do some good things as well. So I have a favor to ask. I do this every morning. Please share. Please like and follow if you haven't already, and subscribe to any of my social media channels. And I am grateful for those of you that do that. Thank you so much for joining me again. Today is day 34. 34 days I have been going live. I'm doing 34 this is the 34th day out of 90 days. I have committed to a 90-day challenge. This is my own challenge to myself, that every day I am going to show up and encourage women and men who are looking to build a business. Women and men who have a dream, who have started a business, they haven't gotten it off the ground, they don't really know what to do. Um, they they have a business, they really want to grow it. They need help in being able to grow that business. That's why I'm here. I want to be able to help women and men who are looking to build their businesses, who have a dream to get a business moving and growing. That's why I do what I do every single day. And for those of you who are new to Dr. Tanya Live, I am Dr. Tanya, and this is Dr. Tanya Live, real talk for women and men building their businesses. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building our businesses. We talk about it every single morning, at least for the last 33 mornings. And today is day 34. And our topic today is visibility that leads to sales. That's what our topic is all about. It is about visibility that leads to sales. So I have talked about visibility before, and I'm going to talk about it in a different way. Because when we talk about visibility, we're really talking about how we position ourselves and how we position ourselves to be able to get sales. So for some of us, it may be a long game. For some of us, it may be something that we're doing rather quickly. And it is how we position ourselves so that we can get sales for the businesses that we are building. And so thank you for joining me. I want to get into this topic of visibility because I think we need to think about what it really means. So if you think about lights, like right now I have a light on in my office, but when we turn on a lamp or we turn on a light, that light really isn't um lit just to be looked at. Now it could be, it could be beautiful. Like the light I have in my office is actually a chandelier of sorts, and it's beautiful. And so yeah, I can, turn it on so I can look at it, but actually it is here. It's not just for me to look at. It is here because it's something that I need, something that I can use. So if I turn it off, it is not as visible in this room. Okay. It's not as lit in the room. It's darker in the room. And so there's a purpose for that visibility. There's a purpose for this light being on, and any lamp that you may turn on. That purpose really is, it is about helping other people to be able to see. And what you're doing with your visibility for your business is you're helping people to be able to see what you have to offer. So now that's that is not about you just trying to be seen. Now, there are people who just want to be seen. There are people who just want to be heard. And so they'll come on social media and they'll just, show themselves. They'll show the parts that they want people to see. But this isn't about just being seen. This is about being seen with a purpose. And that being seen allows other people to see what you have that you are going to offer to them. And that's what builds businesses. That's what allows you to get closer to building your sales. So, this visibility isn't really for you. And if you think it's for you, then you're not in it for the right reason, because the visibility really is supposed to be so that other people can be served and other people can see what you have to offer. So let's kind of dig in a little bit deeper. So, because visibility is also not relevant if the right people don't see you. So, if you have a particular need, so maybe you are a client or potential client looking for a service or a product that you need, right? And so you are going to look for the person or the individuals who have what you have to offer. Who, you're going to be looking for that. So when I need a new outfit. So just this past weekend, I went to a wedding. I needed I'm going to say needed. I needed a new dress, right? But I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And so I went looking for the companies that were going to sell the dresses the type of dress that I was looking for at a price that I needed. So I go looking for so I knew a Macy's was probably going to have what I was looking for, and there are other stores that were going to probably have what I was looking for. So those stores have remained visible. I constantly get stuff from Macy's. I get stuff from, different other retail establishments on a regular basis. And these are establishments that have been around for years, decades, even for some of them. And so, but they remain visible to me, which means they're top of mind. So when I needed that dress, I'm like, this is where I want to go. And that was the first place I went looking for my dress. And so actually I ended up buying it someplace else, but that's fine. That's another story. The idea here is when we're visible, we let people know that we have what they need. We can solve the problem that they have, whatever that particular problem is. And our visibility is positioning us. It's positioning us to be able to provide whatever the people that are going to patronize us to provide what they need. Okay? So that's really what's important when we're thinking about this visibility piece. So your visibility should answer some questions. So when you think about let people seeing you, and not seeing you for the sake of seeing you, but seeing you so that you can share what you have to offer in your business. It should answer the question, like when they see you, do they know what you do? So now if you are online and you're doing all kinds of things and you're talking about everything, or you're showing all kinds of stuff, will people know what it is that you do and what your business offers and the products and the services that you have? Will they know that by seeing you? If not, then the visibility isn't for the same reason. It's not going to get you the outcome that you're looking for. It should also answer the question, who do you help? So when I start my lives every morning, I start off by telling people who I am and who I help. I help individuals who are looking to get their business started, individuals who have a dream to start a business. Maybe they've started it already. I am specifically talking to people who want to get a business up and off the ground. They want to launch a business, they want to build a business, they want to start a business. Like that's who I help. And I distinctly say it every morning. So I'm not just being visible for the sake of visibility. Sure, I would love to have millions of people just come on and like, hey, let's say hi to Dr. Tanya today. That's fine. But that is not why I'm here. I'm here to help and to encourage people who are starting businesses. And so people should know that's who I'm here to help. Your visibility should also um, answer this question for people. What problem do you solve? So, are you just being visible because you're cute? and you can get attention, or are you being visible because people know that you can solve a problem for them, that you can give them what they're looking for and what they need? Here's another question that your visibility should answer for people. Do people know how they can buy from you, or how they can purchase from you, or how they can work with you depending on the kind of business that you're offering? Do they know by your being visible that they can actually work with you? So in my case, do people know that I coach, that I will walk alongside you as you are building your business? Do they know that? I say it every day, just about every day, because I want to make sure that people understand that my visibility, there's a purpose behind this visibility. I am positioning myself to help people understand who I am. There's kind of like a little formula when you're thinking about this visibility thing that I want you to think about. So, visibility is like, see it as a process or as like a journey when you're being visible. It's like people get to see you, yes, and so the more they see you, the more they, hear you, so you're not just on camera for the sake of being on camera. You are visible because you want them to hear the message that you have, whatever that message is, and you want them to learn something from you. So, what is it that they're going to be learning about you and about your business? Now, because I'm a service based business, I spend this kind of time sharing more about who I am because I do the kind of business where people are working closely with me, or they're working closely with my team members. And so my visibility is so that they can learn a little bit about who I am. The more they learn from me, the more they can begin to trust me. So do they want to put their dollars with me, helping them build their business? Only if they know that I can deliver, only if they know that they can trust me because they've been learning from me. So people who tune into this live, and I know a number of people who tune in later, so they don't watch it when I'm actually live, but they'll watch the replay. And so they'll come back and they'll watch it. And as they're watching, they are learning more about who I am. They're learning more about my character. They're learning more about what I have to offer, the kinds of things that I know, because, like I said, I'm a service based, I represent a service based business. So I don't have tangible products like this, for example. Like, I don't even know the company that I bought this from, but this is my microphone that I use when I'm on my phone. Like when I'm on right now, I'm on live on Instagram. It's a separate device. And so I use a separate microphone. When I'm on my other um, devices and other platforms, I use this microphone and my laptop. But all of these devices, all of these pieces of equipment, I went looking for the company that was going to provide me with what I needed to be amplified. So I specifically searched for these products, and I was very intentional about getting the products that were going to work for me. So I looked at the reviews because what's different from a product-based business and a service-based business, you know, the product-based business, you're oftentimes going to have like a lot of product reviews. And so you can also have reviews as a service-based business as well. But I looked at the reviews and I'm like, the reviews were really good. Let me use them. And I have found them to be very beneficial for me. But as a service based business, I want people to know me, like me, and trust me. And they get to know me and like me and trust me. The more visible I am, the more they hear me, the more I teach them or share something that's going to be useful for them. And they then will want to engage with me. And when they engage with me, they do things like join my mailing list. They do things like download products that I have to offer. They do things like hire me to be their coach, or they join a course that I have. And so they'll buy from me after they've spent some time getting to know me. And I'm okay with that. I want to make sure that they are getting their money's worth, that they are not feeling like they're spending their dollars in a place where they're not sure they're going to get what they have asked for. So you want to lead people through your visibility to an offer. You want to get them to a place where they say, hey, yeah, I want to engage with you. And I even want to take it a step further and I want to purchase from you. And that comes from your visibility and it comes from you opening your mouth. You probably are familiar with this phrase, closed mouths don't get fed. And so if you don't open your mouth, if you don't make yourself visible and let people know that you are open for business, you won't eat. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have another job and that other job might not, give you what you need, but ultimately you need to be able to be visible so that people know. You need to open your mouth and let people know that you exist. That's really important. Visibility. Let me say this again. Being visible and visibility gives you an opportunity to let others know who you are repeatedly. So, what's interesting about visibility is you don't just show yourself once or twice. You have to continue to show yourself because you don't know who's going to pick you up later. You have no idea who's going to watch you at a different point. And the other thing that happens is sometimes in this day and time, because in social media, it's very, people heavily use social media for marketing purposes. And so, because of that, there's a lot of noise out there. So there are a lot of folks doing a lot of different things, many who are doing the same kinds of things that you are doing, who are offering the same kind of services or the same kind of products that you have. And so for you to stand out, people need to see you over and over and over again. And sometimes they may need to see you 15 times, 20 times, 25 times before they say, "Hey, let me tune in. Let me see what she's talking about. Let me see what he's doing here." And at that point, that repeated exposure allows people to not only see your visibility, but it adds to your credibility. Because the more visible you are, the more you are sharing, the more you have to say, the more people believe you, the more they trust you, the more they want to buy from you. That's the whole point of your visibility. It is about you creating a pipeline for individuals who are eventually going to buy from you. Your visibility gives you an opportunity for people to hear you who may not have heard you. You don't know whose whose page you're going to land on. And I'm talking about social media visibility. There are other ways to be visible as well. So, like, if we watch television, we see that there are ads. If we are listening to the radio, there are ads. Even if we listen to, like, things like um, satellite radio, there are still ads where people are making themselves visible. If we ride down the highway, we'll see ads. We'll see billboards that are coming our way. And so there are different ways that we can be visible, but that visibility has to be continuous and repeated. You've got to be consistent in being visible for people to know that you are somebody that they can trust, that you are somebody who is reliable, somebody that they want to do business with because they have gotten a sense of who you are and what it is that you have to offer. People need to see you because they may not have seen you at another time. So if you come on once every now and then, they'll see you once every now and then, and they may not know, hey, this person is open for business. Or maybe they saw you earlier and they see you again, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of lock in on who you are, lock in on the message that you're giving, and lock in on the products and the services that you have to offer because they've seen you again and again. When you are constantly visible and not constantly, consistently visible, they have an opportunity to not forget who you are, right? So it could be that they saw you once and they're like, "Ooh, let me save that. I want to come back to that." But then they forget because life happens. There's a lot going on in people's lives. And so when they see you again, when you make yourself visible on a consistent basis, it then brings to their remembrance, "Oh, that's right. I remember Dr. Tanya. I saw her a couple of weeks ago. She was talking about, visibility and service, and she was talking about, other ways to, like, build your business. I knew I wanted to come back to her, and here she is again today talking about visibility and sales. And so, yeah, let me catch this. Let me watch this. Let me pay attention because there's so much that I'm competing with. There's a lot of noise out there that people might need to be reminded that, hey, I'm here. So your consistency and visibility allows people to do that. Your visibility also allows people to understand you more. So, maybe they tuned in and you said something that wasn't really relevant to what they were looking for, and they didn't understand that you were there for them. And so they see you again, they see the topic that you're talking about, and they're like, "Oh, actually, let me listen to this. They have something that I need. They're talking about something that matters to me." Your visibility may be a way, the more they see you, the more consistent you are. It may be, they may need to hear what you have to say 5 different ways before they move. So it's like they hear you today talking about visibility, they heard you last week talking about, the gifts that you have, they, whatever it is, whatever their services. I'm talking about things that I did. So it could be that somebody needs to hear what I'm talking about 5 different ways before they finally say, "Oh, let me buy from them. Let me get what they have to offer. Let me tell other people about them." Because the more visible you are, the more people will catch on. The more people will say, "Hey, let other folks know that you are here." Your visibility allows other people to see themselves. So when we are sharing about what we do, people need to know, like, can I relate to that? Do I see myself in this person? Like, do I want to align myself with this person? This visibility allows them to make some decisions about, whether or not what you have is indeed what they want, because they see themselves as you're talking about it. So right now I've been talking a lot about fear. That has been something that has been a theme in the last 30 days, where I've spent a lot of time talking about fear, and people can relate to it because they have fear. It's real when we have fear around starting a brand new business, stepping away from our jobs, retiring, if you will, to open a business, an idea that people have had. That is something that people can see themselves. So they're like, "Ooh, let me tune in. Let me see if this is something that I need to, like, pay more attention to, because it's speaking to me. It is something that I need to hear." Somebody might be saying, "I really struggle with being visible." And I'm talking about my own topic today. And I hate social media, or I hate going online. I hate people, seeing me. That means I got to, like, do my hair and put on some real clothes or whatever. And people may not, may not be comfortable with that. But when they see how and why this is important, it speaks to them. They need to be able to relate to what it is that you're talking about. Is your story their story? So, like in my case, I have told my story about when I first started my business and I had no mentors and I had no role models for business. I've told this story a number of times, where my business in the beginning failed. And here I am 15 years later, I can tell the story about it. It's a testimony. But when other people hear it, do they relate to that story? Do they understand, like, hey, I'm human? Like, yeah, I can talk about success now because I've gone through the hard times. I've already done the hard work. I know what it is to have to start something and not succeed and not thrive, and be able to pick myself up from it, get the help that I need, the support that I need, and be able to move forward. So when I'm visible, I'm telling this story, people can relate. What about you? What can you say? What can you share that people can relate to, that people can understand, that they can connect with? Those are the things that help people say, "Hey, I want to do business with them because I know them, I like them, I trust them, I believe them, I see myself in their story, I can relate to what they're talking about. They're talking about what I need to be able to build my business." And so, and that's kind of how I would look at it. But for you, it may be something else that you're offering. It may be something else that your business is doing. So, like, I have this coaching business and I have this training and development business. And so the kinds of things that I talk about, I'm looking for people who can relate to what I talk about. People who are going to say, "Hey, this is somebody I want to work with. This is somebody I want to buy from. This is a product that I want to get from these individuals because of their visibility." That's what happens. So if you are sharing, like, if you I use the example of, a sneaker company. If you are a sneaker company and you are sharing your stories about how your sneakers can change people's, ability when they're out there running, or their not their ability, their what's the term? I forgot the term. Where, like their capability when they get their sneakers on, that they can run faster, and it can run safer, it can protect their knees and protect their back, and that you've run a marathon using the sneakers that you create, and how all these people have testimonials about your sneakers. Like, you become visible, you share that story, people want your sneakers. Okay, so like, we look at the kind of sneakers that are out there. Like, I've watched and followed the story of like a Nike or a Hoka. Is that a Hoka? Am I saying it right? Those sneakers or whatever, that have kind of like all of a sudden risen to the top of the sneaker market, right? And I'm not like a sneaker connoisseur by any means, but I know when I was looking for new sneakers, I started looking to the companies that are more visible. And so the same thing for you. People, if you are visible, people will connect with that. People who see you more, who hear you more, who understand what you're offering, they're going to want to purchase from you. Your visibility equates to the sales that could potentially come your way. When you are presenting an offer to people, you also have to have clarity in that visibility. So, how can people buy from you? How do they know that you're even open for business? Because you tell them so. You say things like, I have something for you. You can DM me. I'll give you the information. You can register here. I've had programming that I've offered in the past. And, one of the things that I'll do is I'll say, I want you to register. Here's the link below. Here's the information, and they register. But they wouldn't do it if I weren't visible, if they didn't see me, if I weren't on repeat on their phones and devices. Like, they need to see that on a regular basis. You have to stay top of mind. Even companies that have been around for decades remain top of mind. They continue to run ads. They continue to stay out and visible in the marketplace, so that that they're there, that they're available, that what they have to offer. And they're going to continue to do that because they understand how important visibility is. And a lot of times we're like, we have these small businesses. We haven't, made six figures, or we haven't made seven figures yet. And we think that we can just, show up every now and then. That visibility is key. If the multi-billion dollar companies continue to remain relevant and visible, then these small companies need to do the same thing. Now, it can cost money depending on the kind of visibility that you're looking for. And companies like those big major companies will spend millions of dollars to stay top of mind, to be visible. Maybe you don't have those millions of dollars, but you can use platforms that are free to you to stay top of mind, to stay visible, so that people know that you are open for business and that they want to purchase and buy from you. And then you have the availability of metrics and analytics. So you can see, is it working? Are people buying from me? Are they downloading what I have? Are they clicking on the things that I put up there? Are they joining my mailing list? Are they DMing you? Are they booking you? Are they purchasing from you? Like, these are all the kinds of things that you can actually check to see whether or not people are going to, whether or not you're getting traction from the work that you're doing. And so, one of the things with this live, I've looked at some of the analytics. I could study it even better. But I look at, like, is it better for me to do this in the morning? Is it better in the afternoon? Like, are people coming back and looking at it later? And what's interesting, sometimes people are not tuning in live, but I'm hearing from people later that says, I've been catching your lives, but they're not catching it while I'm live. They're catching it later because I keep it online so that I remain visible. Your visibility really makes a decision, really makes a difference in the kinds of sales that you're looking to get. And so you're going to continue to stay top of mind for people. People are going to say, "Hey, I know you. I like you. I trust you. I will buy from you." That's the journey that we're on when we are being visible. We are positioning ourselves for sales. And so I also have an offer, because I know a lot of people are afraid to be visible. They don't want people to see them. They don't want people to hear them or talk, or they're not comfortable talking or doing ads. You don't always have to show your face, but you do need to show your product and your service. And if fear is something that stands in the way, then we can deal with that. We can address the fear. And I do have an offer that I want to provide for you. You can go to my website, TanyaBreland.com. You can download a 10-day devotional that works you through the fears that you may be dealing with. It's real. It's called When Fear Knocks. That 10-day devotional is free. But I also have another offer for you. And it is an offer that is a low cost offer. And it is a book, an ebook that you have access to with an actual interactive companion that you can walk through, helps you go deeper. Because when we talk about fears, fears are not surface, fears are real. Fear is what stands in the way of many business owners becoming successful. Excuse me. Because the fear of whatever, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of inadequacy, all of the things that fear does to us, it paralyzes us. We have to do the work to address these fears. Sometimes we need to go to therapy, but I do have products that can support you and help you in the area of fear. You can go to my website today, right now, TanyaBreland.com, and you can download that. Um, if anything that I have shared has resonated with you, I love to hear from people who tune in. I love it when they say, "Hey, I've been catching you," even though I don't know they're catching me because I don't see them. But it's a blessing to know that. So DM me, send me a message, inbox me, Tanya at TanyaBreland.com. That is my email. You can email me, you can go on my website, whatever it is. I would love to hear from you. Tomorrow is going to be a different day. I am going um, to come on, but I can't tell you the exact time because I have something else very personal that's happening. But tomorrow we're going to talk about a day in the life of an entrepreneur. And so I do hope that you will be on the lookout for when I do go live and when I share. But let's talk about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. Like, what is it like to walk this walk of being an entrepreneur? That's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. I look forward to being able to share with you and to continue this journey. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you. Have a great rest of the day and stay visible and stay relevant so people know that you are available for.